What's up, everybody? So welcome back to the Final Cut Pro series. So this episode is focusing on how to add text, transition, and effect. So let's get started. In order to add text, what you have to do is to go to the sidebar. As I mentioned from the first episode, you can see three different icons. One is library, the other one is media, that you can access photos and audio or sound effect, and the last one is the titles. So in order to add titles, just scroll down to see anyone you want to add. Okay, and again, just hover your mouse over the title. You can see the preview of it on the preview screen. In order to add the text, for example, I love this one, so what I can do is to drag it, okay, and drop it. So the text will appear just like this. Okay, so select on this. As you can see from here to here, this is where the text ends. So it's too long for me, so I can drag it like this. Okay, so we just stay for a while, not for the rest of the video. Okay, so now I can change the titles on the inspector and see the text letter T here. It means the effect where you want to adjust the size of the font, where you can adjust the second title. Okay, and this is the color of the text. In order to edit the text, you have to do is to go to here, or if, because it depends on different developers, different text style as well. Some text style, what you have to do is to click on here, but some you have to double click on the text itself. And then you will be able to edit from here or select from here. Okay, and subtitle here, double click, change it to, and when you select the text in here, scroll down, you can see face, show. This is where I can change the color of this font. Yeah. How you get the text? Because I have different kind of text, I can try different style. Okay, just play around with this, because as I mentioned earlier, different developers might use different kind of editing strategy. As you can see from this one, when you go to letter T here, you can see something different, which you can play around with all of this by yourself. Just play around with the number, something like this. So let's try it. Okay, so the next thing that I would like to talk about is the transition. Let's move on to transition first. As I already mentioned about the transition in episode 1, this is where you can access the transition. You can choose all, or you can go folder by folders. Hover your mouse over the effect or the transition, you can see what it's like, okay, on the viewer. So let me try to apply one of these. So in order to apply effect is you have to drag the effect and make sure that you put in between the clips, not above here, but in between. So you can see, you see this, and you can also drag like what I'm doing. Drag him in the delay time of the transition. For example, let's just put it like this, play. It's too fast, right? Let's expand it. Yeah, it's slow enough. Let me try to drag a completely different clip so that you can see what happens when you drag a completely different clip onto the timeline and then you want to use transition. So let's try it here. So now I have another completely different clip. from the one I'm using. So when I drag it, so here you can see what happens here is it's different from, for example, if I apply it to the same clip that I just split or whatever, it just come with this. You can see the preview like this, okay, which makes you know that you are trying to put or place the effect here. So just drag and drop it like this. However, as I mentioned earlier, if you drag a completely different clip onto the timeline and you want to link the first clip to the second one, it show like this. It just show the plus button or icon. It doesn't show something like this. However, just drag it and drop into the middle, and then you will be asked to click on create transition. So just click on create transition, and then now you have something similar. Okay, now let's move on to the last point, which is about effect. In order to add effect, what you have to do is to go to this one here, which is next to the transition. In effect, as I mentioned, you have videos and audio. Okay, so let's just go with one of the effects. For example, 16, you can see that. So in order to apply the effect on the video, what you have to do is to drag the effect, but not to put in between the video clips or on the clips. What you have to do is to drag and put it into the clip. Boom. Now it's working. You see? Yes. I just got a new effect on my video. I can adjust everything here, okay? So you can play around with what you want, what satisfies you the most. Just go with it. It's your own choice. To sum up in this video, what you need to know is text, effect, and transition. So to add text, you have to drag and drop it above the clips. However, if you want to apply transition to link from one video to another, you have to drag the transition and put it in between the clips. Last but not least is the effect. In order to add effect, you have to drag and drop the effect on the video. Okay? One more thing to make you easy to understand. Okay? Everything that you find from the text here, okay, you need to drag and drop above the clips. Everything that you get from the transition, it works only when you drag it and put between the clips. Everything that you find on the effect option or place, it works only when you drag it and drop onto the video. Okay, so just remember that whatever happens, because again, as I mentioned, some developers might have different kind of materials made, so I'm not quite sure. Sometimes the text that you are using might be probably is work as a transition or whatever. Scroll down to the effect, you can see audio section where you can apply again in the effect. What you have to do is to drag and put it into the clips. Okay, so we will talk more in detail about audio, what are my recommend audio effects that you should use in order to improve your project. Okay, so I think that should be all, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions and suggestions, please let me know in the comment down below. I hope to see you guys in the next series. Thanks.